Okay, so starting here at the bottom right, we have Zephyra, the blue Terran, the bottom of the map, saying good luck, have fun. And at the top of the map, we have XProzX, the red Terran. They are both starting their depot at exactly the correct time, and even rallying the SCV back to the mineral is really, really good. So both players are doing really well. Okay, actually, we're getting a slight variation here. There's a slight delay on the next SCV. So a little bit's behind, but it shouldn't make that big of a deal. Because you can see on the blue side, this SCV is kind of just chilling here. And it's now immediately moving on to barracks. Very, very good. In fact, a gas gets dropped at the same time as well. Gas being dropped on the other side, but a gas first! How exciting, a gas first coming up for XProzX. Wow, I don't even have time to introduce these guys. I was actually gonna I thought there might be some downtime at the start, but we will see what happens. Still only one SCV in gas at the moment. We're going to see if we're going to start moving. Two SCVs. Come on, two. Yes, there we go. So now we've got 3 workers mining gas. Very, very exciting. This is probably going to be for a fast Reaper or potentially some sort of Reaper OM. We will see. No SCVs moving out onto the map just yet from the red side, but a scouting SCV coming out on the blue side. That is so cool. So instead of going for a Reaper, we're seeing a reactor coming down straight away. Very, very interesting. Opting to use the SCV to scout rather than using a Reaper. But there is a full wall of, and this Reaper is not going to get in, but he will be able to see the reactor going down as well as the second barracks. Both have the orbital coming down, and there's just this one SCV standing here, just chilling next to the rock, not really doing anything. Oh, yep, there we go. Sending him back to work. But yeah, I think what's really exciting about this is I haven't really casted a game in many, many years. And of course, even the games that I've casted before, I've actually never casted games between people who don't really know how to play or at the lower levels. I've always traditionally casted my other friends' games who have traditionally been at about diamond to master level. So it's quite exciting to see how this will roll out. Oh, there's a supply block, but this should be resolved by the supply depot very, very shortly. Both players aren't really opting for any aggressive strategies. This is really interesting because, you know, I remember in the very first StarCraft 2 game I played, I actually just looked up a completely random build and tried to execute it, and then I just got inside of rush. So basically, at the lower level, you kind of expect people to just rush straight away. So it's really interesting to see that they're both opting for a slightly longer game. So we can see here with Zephyra, he is being a little bit greedy with only 1 Marine. Oh, actually, moving out with 4 Marines without stim, without anything else. These 4 Marines, oh my goodness. Typically, these shouldn't be able to get anything done, but with, whoa, there are 2 Hellions out now. So this should be easily defended, but this is such an interesting attack. Moving out at 3 minutes 49. And I'm looking at the chat right now, and it says, aggression forces the opponent to answer correctly, which requires skill, which is right. So now we can see if these 4 Marines can do anything. They're starting to shoot. Oh, they're starting to shoot. Oh, there's a little bit of micro going on, but these Hellions should make short work of these Marines. Oh, so now immediately a huge lead goes to Zephyra. Oh, what a blunder by XProzX, losing 4 Marines for free, 218 resources. Actually, how is it 218? I don't understand. Why is it 200? Why is it not 200? Where did the 18 come from? What? Well, anyway, we can see a scan going down, and now Zephyra trying to pressure with these Hellions. Oh my goodness, he is actually doing some kiting. Oh, look at the kiting! What is this? There's such good control from Zephyra. That is actually incredible. Does he lose anything there? No, he did not. It is now 0 units lost versus 208. Is he going to continue putting on the pressure? There is another Marine joining. and he is continuing to make Hellions. In fact, another command center. So while applying pressure at the front while macroing up, this is really cool to see. A new players to StarCraft 2, both not opting for a random chase strategy. But is this too much to hold? There's so many Hellions, and these Marines they do have stim. They need to stim. They need to stim and attack. This is quite a lot of Marines, so they should be able to hold this. But they're not really stimming. Or are they? Oh, actually, in fact, they're going to win without the stim and without medevacs. So what did that actually do? Let's look at the units lost tab. So the units lost tab have now flipped around. We can see that there is actually a deficit that's gone the other way. I see the chat talking about the ADC mechanics. So for reference, in these two are actually playing. Usually when we play League together, Zephyra is actually the ADC, so he plays bot lane, while XProzX plays mid lane. So I suppose that is the ADC mechanics might show here, but we will see how relevant that is. In fact, we do have the first two medevacs coming out at 6:28. They're both doing really well. I am really surprised, and their supply count is surprisingly even. But yes, once again moving out with Marines and Hellions, but these do not have medevacs. Once there are medevacs, being loaded up for a drop. Oh my goodness! XProzX going for the Doom drop. There is nothing defending the base. There is nothing here. There are two dropships going across the map at the moment. Oh, is the first game going to end in a base race? That is so exciting. We can see that actually there is still no medevacs or any kind of upgrades on the way. But these drops are about to hit. There is nothing at home. There's one tank. There's one tank moving out. Can the tanks be used to defend? Oh, he sees. There is a Banshee and a tank and two Hellions moving back to defend. Oh no! Why are these units going home? No. They shouldn't be defending. You should be trying to go for a base trade, but now the SCVs are being pulled. No, there are SCVs dying all over the place. They are all being healed by the medevacs. This could be game-ending damage, but potentially they are not. Oh, wow. No, actually, if he kept attacking, he could have won. The medevacs still have energy, but the more conservative play, shifting them down to the third base, and then picking up as the units come. This is really cool, but I think there is actually enough for Zephyra to win. Wow, this is actually an action-packed game. I can't believe it, but I do think that there was an F2 moment going on back there, because I think with the tank and the SCV pull, it would have been enough to defend it. And these Hellions could have potentially run in and destroyed everything. Oh my goodness, the macro is showing for XProzX all these units at home. He is actually being able, but he was supply blocked for quite a bit, and there are 4 supply depots finishing at the moment, and now he is resuming Marine production 7 at a time, but 2 battle cruisers about to finish for Zephyra. This is just such an insane game. And actually, there's still a single medevacs filled with units, which he probably didn't notice. But Zephyra moving out again without medevacs. But there is there's the rocks. Do they see each other? No. But he is just there's no vision here. But he sees the battle cruiser. What is he going to do? Will he go back, or is he just going to stem? He is going to stem underneath and attack the battle cruiser. So the battle cruisers are teleporting away. Where are they going? So they are Where did the battle cruisers go? Oh no, this is a base race. Okay, there goes one free tank. Well, okay, so wait, what the heck is going on? Okay, so there is a base race going on. So the battle cruisers did teleport to the opponent base. Zephyra with the 2 battle cruisers, Hellions, Marines attacking everything, while the Marine medevac army attacking the tank. The tank, he is not focusing on the tank, he just needs to siege the tank and pull the SCVs. Oh, repair the tank. Oh no, there goes the tank. Oh, but there goes the command center floating away, and potentially, if they float to the bottom of the corner of the map, these Marines will have no way to actually reach it. Whereas if the same strategy is attempted on the other side, these battle cruisers will actually be able to fly to the corners of the map. So we've got these Marines here, kind of just. There's a lot of medevacs, so they really won't be running out of energy. But if this command center just gets floated to the corner of the map, like here, these Marines will not be able to shoot it, right? So technically, there's no way Zephyra can lose this game, because there's nothing that can actually shoot these battle cruisers if they just keep avoiding contact with these Marines. So we will see what goes on. In fact, XProzX appears to be going home. Is he actually going to go home, or is he going to keep the base race up? He is actually going to keep the base race up, but this is so hard. I think this is definitely going to... The game 1 will definitely be going to Zephyra. In fact, but what he needs to do is not get greedy. He must ensure that there is a command center hidden in the corner. If he doesn't float command centers into the corners, these Marines do have higher DPS with the stim pack, with the medevacs. In fact, is he going home? No. Does he have enough to defend? To actually, it's really hard to say because there's so many medevacs. It's very likely that in a head-on fight, XProzX might potentially have enough to actually win win the fight, because there's so many medevacs and these Marines have stim pack. So it's potentially they can actually kill every single one of these Hellions. He has to run. Yes, okay, so he does run. Actually, even with the battle cruisers, even with these Marines, even with these Hellions, these Marines controlled properly with medevacs should actually be able to win. Oh, this is so dangerous. There's not enough. There is just not enough. These battle cruisers, they don't attack fast enough to beat these Marines. Oh my gosh. There's so many medevacs. There's so many medevacs. Oh no, but he is not controlling them. He actually had enough there. No, XProzX not controlling his units, not kiting back, not stimming, and even with that single medevac still having some units there, but he could have. Okay, so he finally notices, but I think it's a little bit late, right? 39 to 27, but there is a single, still a single battle cruiser, so it is very unlikely that he will be able to come back in this game. There is, in fact, there is still enough money for another command center and another command center here. But interestingly, he is actually still mining, and another 2 barracks coming up. But surely, the battle cruiser and the Marines should be able to fight this, and he cancels it, so he does know. Yes, there he goes. So the first one will go to Zephyra. Wow, what an action-packed game! I didn't even have time to introduce these guys. Wow. That was very exciting. So the next game will be played on Eternal Empire, with a 1-0 lead at the moment. So we shall see how this goes. Wow, we have 6 viewers. Wow. Okay, well, welcome everybody. I probably don't know all 6 of you, but welcome. Enjoy the game. That was actually really close. I felt like there were chances in there where XProzX really could have taken it, but anyway, starting with the good luck have fun is Zephyra, the blue Terran, again setting his rally points at the bottom of the map, and at the top of the map the red Terran, XProzX. Let's get the production tab up. So, second game, he does seem a little bit rattled from the last game, sending his SCV to build the supply depot a little bit late. But really, he actually had a shot to win that last game, especially because with Marine Medevac, even though he doesn't have combat shield, he actually could have won that fight by simply focus firing. So actually, these two are more evenly matched than they think. So they are starting with identical builds for now, with the barracks into the gas. So nothing really special happening at the moment. So to give a background, so XProzX is the mid laner, and Zephyra is the ADC when we play League of Legends. So both of these players are League of Legends players who don't really have that much experience with StarCraft, but they do know how StarCraft works. And in fact, both of them are scouting now with their SCVs, opting to use the SCV scout instead of the Reaper scout. In fact, this one is going home. Is he choosing not to scout after all? Okay, so he is actually no. There is a change up. So we do have a Reaper going across the map for Zephyra, whereas we do not have anything for XProzX yet. In fact, we do have it in the SCVB mode. Hey, actually, what are both of these guys psychic or something? Both going with a Reaper first, both changing it up compared to the first game. So the Reaper will come out for Zephyra first, and there it goes, going across the map. And Zephyra does get a full scout of the base, and he sees that there's nothing there, so immediately there's the command center coming down. So he is probably thinking to himself, okay, is there something going on here? Is something being hidden? Why is there no expansion? And in fact, it's interesting because he is actually floating 700 minerals. So immediately we can see that Zephyra does have a much cleaner build this game. And in fact, the Reaper is hitting straight for the mineral lines. Okay, is it going to get one kill? There, it's going to get at least one kill. There comes the first kill. Is it going to get the second kill? Yes, it's going to get the second kill, but the Reaper does pop out for XProzX. And the Reaper will be fighting each other, and he should be able to get out. I don't think there's going to be another shot. Yeah, he does manage to get out. As long as he doesn't miss control, there should be no problem here. But overall, we can see that Zephyra does have a... wow, that's really cool. He started an SCV and then immediately cancelled it and went for the orbital. So really good so far. But again, this game is very different because there's no command center coming down, but there is 700 minerals. So I really don't understand what is going on in this game. I don't understand. So actually we're missing something here. We have a, oh my gosh, an SCV being pulled by Zephyra to get that kill. This is a 3-kill Reaper. And wow, this is really interesting. So now Zephyra will start moving across the map with, wow, this is like the opposite of last game. So is Zephyra actually going to move across the map with 4 Marines? Last game it was XProzX who moved out with 4 Marines. But this game, it is very different because we see that there is Stimpack coming down from Zephyra at the correct time, and there is a Starport going down. This is a very clean execution of the 2-1-1 build. This will hit this, and there's a reactor coming as well. So this is actually a very legit build. This is probably, looking at the timings, I'm going to hit with 16 Marines at 2 medevacs at around 5 minute 30. It is slightly slower than normal, but it is still a very deadly build against what XProzX is doing, because what XProzX is doing is that he is actually delaying his command center, and Zephyra will get a full scout of how delayed the starport is, and putting every SCV to deal with the Reaper, but those Marines should go to take care of it. And wow, is it going to get out? Wow, it actually gets out. That is very sad. Now, if we look at Zephyra's vision, he actually does see the delayed starport, and he knows that he will be in a very good position. And now here it comes. Here comes the 2 medevacs at 5 minutes 05. So yes, at around 5 minute 30, he will be moving out with all these Marines and 2 medevacs. This is actually, in my opinion, impossible to stop as XProzX because his build is so delayed. There's 3 barracks, yes, so 3 barracks is more than 2 barracks, but this is too delayed. His production has been delayed. His second base was delayed. I don't really understand why he chose to delay his expansion compared to the first game. Maybe he was scared of some sort of cheese being pulled out, but 2 medevacs just starting now. So this can potentially, okay, so 2 medevacs moving across the map with 16 Marines. So XProzX can actually hold this because he has 3 barracks. For those of you who don't understand StarCraft, there are 3 barracks here. And he has Stimpack, and he has 2 medevacs, which will pop out in time for these. So technically, as long as he pulls his SCVs in time and moves back, his 2 medevacs will pop out with these Marines, and they should be able to counter these 2 medevacs from Zephyra, which are going to boost in. And he should be ahead in Marines to defend. Well, he won't be ahead in the game, but actually, does he even see that? He does see that. It's in his point of view, but he stims, and will there be an SCV pull? No, there won't be! Oh my gosh, every single SCV is going to die! He has not seen it! He GG's out without seeing the SCVs, and it is now a 2-0 lead for Zephyra. Oh my goodness. Not as close as the last game. He just did not see that coming and lost everything. That is extremely unfortunate. So I'm hoping that these 2 guys will be able to get into will be able to play more than 3 games. And in fact, after that first game, I thought that they would be able to play more than 3 games. But that last game, man, very clean build, really good execution. He almost felt like a different player compared to the first game. The first game was very strange. You know, Zephyra went for Marines, Hellions, and then battle cruisers without any kind of upgrades. But second game pulled out all the guns and, you know, did a 2-on-1, moved out with 2 medevacs and 60 Marines. Very clean execution. Like that build, the way it was executed was actually enough to probably kill anyone in Gold League or below. It's very clean. It's basically the same as what you would expect from a professional player, except it hit about 35 seconds late. But man, that is clean. I think XProzX will have to do something exceptional if he wants to defend against that. But anyway, at the bottom again, the blue Terran, Zephyra. And in the top, we have the red Terran, XProzX, with the slight supply block, but the supply depot will finish soon, and the barracks immediately going down. Now, the thing that went wrong for XProzX in the last game is that his command center was actually delayed for no reasons whatsoever. And that means his economy was behind. And also, he wasn't able to see the 2 medevac drop with 16 Marines coming. I am actually really surprised that that build got pulled out in the second game after that first game, and it was so clean as well. It really, like a 2-on-1 hitting at 5 minutes 30. That is an execution which you would expect from Platinum. Really, like even in Gold, it would be hard for them to execute a build like that. But again, this game, Zephyra again changing it up. He is going for the reactor without a Reaper first, and it seems that he will be dropping Command Center soon. That is really interesting because this game, XProzX, has the slightly faster Command Center. He does have the Reaper coming, whereas there is actually no Reaper or Marine going on for Zephyra. So what Zephyra is doing is an extremely greedy build. He is completely in the dark. He has no idea what is coming. And he does now see the Reaper, and this should prompt him to start making Marines, right? Because, you know, he really has nothing to do. What? Why is this Reaper going home? What? It's going home. What? What? No! Send this out. There's nothing in his base. He even skipped the Reaper. That Reaper had potential to do so much damage. What? Why? Why stay at home? But I think this is probably the mentality that I had as well. I think when you are kind of starting in an RTS, you kind of just want to keep all your units at home. And in fact, these 2 Marines are already in position to catch the Reaper that's coming up. Now, this is really interesting at the moment. So we've got single barracks into a factory, whereas there is actually... Wait, what just happened? There is a reactor on this one. There is nothing on this one. Wow, this is a really interesting situation. So in this game, we do see that XProzX is going to be the one with the faster medevacs, and his Reaper actually manages to get 2 kills on the SCVs, and manages to kill every SCV here. So that's pretty good for a single Reaper. He will probably want to run that in soon to see what's up, but again, Zephyra changing it up with 2 Hellions and the starport just coming out and a second factory on the way. So there seems to be some sort of mech play coming up. Whereas we do have we do have a tech. Is that a tech lab? Yes, it is a tech lab. There is a tech lab on the way, and there is a reactor going down on the factory. So I assume that what XProzX is doing is a form of 2-on-1 as well. Very similar to, maybe he took inspiration from what Zephyra did last game. So he's gonna swap that on there, and he's gonna build 2 medevacs and do a marine drop. So this is really interesting, right? So again, the roles have reversed. We've got 2 medevacs coming out. We've got marine production. We've got a lot of marines queued up on this one, but this one's not actually building anything, but hopefully he realizes that soon. But interestingly, this is like a complete reverse, right? Because you've got like, you know, marines being built for XProzX, 2 medevacs about to come out. You know, he'll move out with the medevacs, but he doesn't. You can see it's not as clean as Zephyra's, because he doesn't have 16 marines ready to go, right? Like these 2 medevacs aren't going to have all the marines ready. Whereas Zephyra is going for a mech play, and he is going for widow mines. What? There are 4 widow mines at the moment. So. And in fact, they are both reactor factories, so they will both be building widow mines 2 at a time. And if he picks them up for a drop at the moment, and he is going to do that, you can see how this isn't as clean. This is kind of like the 2-on-1 I would expect at about gold to silver level, because you remember how last game Zephyra managed to move out with both medevacs filled with units at 5:30, right? So these medevacs are only half full, and it's 5:50. So that's kind of the difference between a silver to gold level-ish player compared to like a platinum player, I would say. And then once you hit diamond, like if I were to do a 2-on-1 build, again, it would be about 15, 20 seconds faster. So yeah, it's an interesting situation at the moment, and he's not really moving out. Like, the point of this build is that you want to be moving out as quickly as you can, right? So if you move out as quickly as you can, you're more likely to do critical damage, and in fact, he's dropping these marines. Wonder if he's going to be moving out. But we do have a double widow mine drop heading across the map at the moment. We also have another medevac. Oh my goodness! Is this some sort of double? It's some sort of 2-pronged attack. Actually, triple-pronged attack. Does he going on here? So we do have a widow mine drop coming in straight away here. Will there be a reaction? Actually, there does not appear to be. So wow, actually that destroyed his own medevac in the process, but it did hit a lot. And in the meantime, we do have another widow mine drop coming in here. And these are going to burrow and... Oh my goodness. I don't think that was game-ending damage. In fact, we can see that he is only ahead by 10 SCVs. 10 SCVs is still quite a lot. Okay, that was another big hit. But yes, so 10 SCV difference there. It can be seen that this can be a little bit taxing, but these widow mines are about to fire again, and yeah, they did some damage. But again, the reason why these kind of builds are harder to do at lower leagues is because when you do these kind of builds, notice how Zephyra's SCVs aren't actually increasing. You can see how he's only building widow mines because he's forgetting to build SCVs while doing these drops. And in the meantime, there is continuous SCV production for XProzX. So this is one thing that I always say to beginners, like, don't try to do these fancy things. If you just focus on SCV production, that is usually the way to go. Anyway, we do have, he is still 10 SCVs ahead, and in fact, oh my goodness, he is running into the Widow Mines. That is not good. Um, so he should be sending one Marine at a time into those Widow Mines. But we do have a drop happening in the main base. So pardon my horrible observing skills, but yes, so many things happening in this game. So much multitasking. I actually didn't expect this much multitasking, but all he has to do is kite back with these Marines, and in fact he doesn't even have to kite back. He has already lost every single Hellion. Oh my goodness, XProzX with the comeback. He boosts, picks up and boosts out of there. In fact, all of the army coming back at the moment. That was an F2 right there. Actually, it does appear that Zephyra will now be going for a Doom drop containing every single one of his units. But there are, oh my goodness, the macro kicking in for XProzX. He has 126 army, he's got so much stuff. He has 4 tanks, and he has, oh my goodness, he has 4 tanks and 53 Marines. And he is going to, oh no, he doesn't need to do the Doom drop. No! Oh my gosh, wait, these medevacs both filled with units. Who is gonna Okay, so Zephyra does actually see these moving across the map, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna boost them with his own medevacs, so one of them will be shot down immediately. The second one will actually survive, and he will drop everything in the natural. So there's one fight going on, but there's a tank sieging up, and it will be able to defend this almost effortlessly. He has to run out of range of the tanks, and he does. But these SCVs are being protected by tanks, and they're not going to do anything at all. This is just this is a horrible situation right now. Even though there's one mine, this one mine really isn't going to do anything at all. So So he is hitting home, and he does still have these 3 medevacs, which XProzX forgot about. Oh my gosh, this red one actually is filled with units. Oh my goodness. Oh, it goes down. No, there is still actually quite a lot here. In fact, if he goes into the main, this should be enough for the killing blow, except there are 2 Widow Mines here, so these 2 Widow Mines can potentially still... Okay, there it goes. These can shoot down the medevacs, right? But right now, they're kind of just going in for the kill, and there does appear to be... this is a really rough situation for Zephyra, right? Because you've got these Marines that are just... that are uncontested. Like, what can you do about these? And you can't. And in fact, he's still keeping most of his units at home. He's got siege tanks everywhere now, and I actually don't know if there's a way. I mean, maybe. Oh, actually, these Hellions should be able to clean it up. And do so. This is a situation where XProzX really shouldn't be able to lose this one, right? You've got 135 food to 51 food. And you've got this massive army of 1-1 Marines. They have combat shield. They do not have combat shield. But this is a huge-ass army if I've ever seen one, right? Like, as long as he attack moves, he should be able to win. But... I mean, this is all they have. But I mean, is it possible they're 2 liberators? It's really hard to say. But I know it shouldn't be hard to say. But you know, I've seen some terrible chokes before. Anyway, let's zoom out and see this final effort. And he is actually controlling his units with the starter step. And I do believe this is over. There is no way you can beat this big ball of Marines. So Zephyra, oh, actually, there is still a way to come back. There are 2 tanks. These 2 tanks can potentially destroy everything if it's simply an attack move. Oh my gosh, so much damage! Oh, it's so much damage, so much damage! All these Marines, oh my gosh, they're all at the choke point. Oh, okay. Oh no, there's still too many Marines, but man, that was not the most cost-effective thing I've ever seen. And the score is now at a 2-1. I am very impressed. He managed to hold off the Widow Mine attacks and successfully defended. And now we have a series. Very cool. Now, the next map is a really weird one. It is Golden Wall, and we will see if they've got anything prepared here. Man, this is pretty exciting. I didn't expect the games to be this exciting, quite frankly. And you know, they really have legit. They're coming into these games with pretty legit builds, right? Like they're not. They're doing different things each time, and I think. But on this map, certainly a lot of potential for funny things. So on the right we have the blue Terran. We have Zephyra. And on the right, we have the red Terran, who is XProzX. A funny supply depot. This is not the exit. Maybe both of these players haven't actually played on these maps, but these maps are really interesting because you've got these minerals here which can unlock a potential back door, but you have to mine these out first. But this is your actual choke. So we do have Zephyra coming out with the supply depot at the correct location, with interestingly, a gas first and 2 SCVs moving out. So these 2 SCVs are probably heading out for some sort of proxy barracks attack. This will be quite difficult to defend, in my opinion, on this map. Man, these guys have really thought out their strategies. So we've got, this will definitely be a proxy Reaper. There is a full wall-off going on here. So this full wall-off will probably signify that something is wrong. But as far as XProzX is concerned, he is just building his own barracks, and he is making a second barracks before the command center. So it is interesting. This does put him in a better situation than before in terms of defending. But I think XProzX is not very familiar with this map because it seems that he feels that you have to mine out this area before you have to move forward, but that's actually not true. There is actually a choke here. So I wonder if this is just going to be a map loss. In fact, is he going to go for the command center? Actually, oh my goodness, he is actually going to go for the command center. Here it comes. But we already have 2 proxy barracks on the way, and this is directly on top of the command center. So for perspective, this is the command center, this is the barracks, and this is a very slow proxy barracks, but we do have 2 reactors on the way, and in fact we have at home an engineering bay. This is a very interesting build. Why does it need an engineering bay? What could possibly need an engineering bay? Like, this is a very strange thing. But okay, we've got a first Reaper moving across the map now. This Reaper will be jumping over the wall, and this will probably be able to do a lot of damage, right? I mean, in fact, it can probably kill every SCV here if microed correctly. Of course, we aren't really expecting perfect micro, but this Reaper will come in and he'll see, well, firstly, he will see the SCV building the command center. The question is, will he jump up? Yes, he does. So he will jump up and start attacking the SCVs, and he does pull every single SCV in response. This is going to be really tough, right? Because this single Reaper can technically infinitely kite these SCVs. So but interestingly, he's not really going for the SCVs anymore. He's just going to be shooting at this command center, which is probably not the most cost-efficient way to use this Reaper. This Reaper, come on, this Reaper should come in here and see absolutely nothing. You can just, you know, keep shooting away at these SCVs. Why are you not doing that? But in fact, this the slowest double barracks I've ever seen is actually coming through with 2 SCVs and a bunch of Marines, and these Marines are going to come in here and they will wreak havoc. So what is this Reaper going to do? What is the response? The response is pulling these SCVs, but he simply doesn't have enough, right? He just doesn't have enough. And there's a bunker being built in a Terran versus Terran. But, you know, what is this going to do? Okay, this Reaper has to start doing something. This Reaper is just standing here. This Reaper now has 2 kills. But the only way that this can be held is just, you know, he needs to be trading. He needs to be sending the SCVs, and he needs to be sending the Reaper in and do his own damage. But there is so much damage being done by these Marines. Oh, and the game is over.